Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. My name's Sam, and today I'm joined with no one. I'm by myself. Sav isn't in today's episode. This feels weird. I don't know how I feel about this. This feels like this is the divorce podcast. Two bees in a pod are getting a divorce. It's now one bee in a pod. Is me. You're stuck with me. No, I'm kidding. A couple weeks ago, I was like, Sab, wouldn't it be silly if one episode was just me and the next episode was just you, and then afterwards you come back and we talk about what we did on the podcast? And turns out this week Sab is just busy, same as me. We were both really busy, and I was like, well, I could just record an episode myself and upload that and see what happens. So, yeah. You're stuck with me. Wait, I just realized. Hold on. Oh my god. I was going to open up Discord and get the soundboard ready. But I opened it and now it says installing 15 updates. Help. What have I done? Where am I? I just put on a video that says 10 hours of silence interrupted by the vine boom sound effect at random intervals. So we'll see if it plays this vine sound boom at any point in time. But I didn't really have a plan going into this. I probably should have come up with a plan, considering I'd be by myself and I won't be bouncing off of anybody. But I was like, what should I do? And you know what? One, I was partially inspired by the fact that in my voice acting classes when I was in college, as a warm-up for the class, we would have to look at articles of celebrity news and pick one that we wanted to report on. And so I was like, what if I do that? What if I make this episode just a little gossip episode? The toxic gossip train. Or choo-choo and that toxic gossip train, okay? But I was looking at the news of just celebrity news of the last week or so, and a lot of it's just celebrities dying, and I'm like, this is really depressing. I don't know if I want to talk about this. I don't know. So who knows? We'll find something to talk about. I swear. Who messaged me? I almost started playing that Beyonce TikTok out loud. I don't necessarily want to do that. What the fuck? Who's Ollie London? I just opened my phone and Sab sent me some picture of some dude named Ollie London. Oh, wait, hold on. Ollie London is an English internet personality known for his multiple ethnic plastic surgery procedures to make him look like Jimin, a member of South Korean boy band BTS. Oh, ew. Why are you... what? That's crazy. Isn't he oh, he's the one who is the freaking Republicans use as an excuse to push transphobic shit. So they're look, this guy is detransitioning, which means that everyone's gonna want to if you transition too early. I love how this just turned very political so fast. But that's what I recognize him from. I recognize him from teaming up with Republicans to be no, kids shouldn't have access to gender affirming care. But I also I feel he was on My Strange Addiction. Maybe I'm going crazy. I feel he might have been on My Strange Addiction for plastic surgery, because I remember seeing that he got so many procedures done. Or I might be thinking of the dude who got plastic surgery to look like Ken. I forget his name. I don't remember his name. But freaking Sab sent me a picture to a group chat that I'm in with another one of our friends. And someone posted a picture of Ollie London. Just checked Ollie London's profile and I'm fucking losing it. And it's a picture of him in a IDF vest. I don't know. Ministry of Foreign Affairs Israel. Sorry, not IDF. That was wrong. And then some other person replied saying, Ollie London's ability to constantly shapeshift into new versions of the worst person you've ever met should be studied. Wait, because that's so true, actually. How does he manage to just keep making the bar lower? No fucking way. That's so funny. Oh my god, the divine boom actually scared me. I forgot I put it on and I physically jumped. We're off to a great start. Hey! I'm like the fucking, what's it called? I'm like the weird aunt of the family, but like the cool weird aunt. Like not the one that like tries to give alcohol to the 14-year-olds. I'm like the one that's like, oh, you're 17 and you're drinking? You probably should do that, but like I'm not gonna stop you. But also like if you go to a party and you need someone to come pick you up, like you can call me. Cause I'm chill like that. We chill. But also if you get in trouble, you're on your own. You know? I basically just said I'm the weird aunt that condones underage drinking. Responsibly. Okay. I underage drank when I was like 16. I feel like that's like a common thing in Canada. I don't know. Like, I've seen TikToks before where people are like United States, oh, I waited to drink until I was 21. And then it's like Canada, drinking since they were 14 years old. And I'm like, yeah. Like, obviously there's underage drinking in the US. Like, there's underage drinking fucking everywhere. But, like, it feels like a much bigger thing in Canada than it is in the US. Like, I know a lot of people who waited till they were 21 to drink in the US. So that's why I'm like, why is like drinking at the age of 14 such a like big concept in Canada? But the point I was trying to make is underage drinking is going to happen regardless. If someone doesn't want to drink, then they won't drink. If someone is underage and they want to drink because they get a rush from the thrill of drinking when you're not supposed to, then they're gonna find a way to do it regardless. So it's like, why punish the kid for doing something that they're going to find a way to do anyway, and just help them understand the risks and make sure that they do it in a safe setting? Like, if my kid, okay, I guess in this scenario, because I'm the aunt, if my, like, sibling's kid messaged me being like, I'm going to a club, can you pick me up afterwards? I'd be like, no. No, actually. Well, I'll pick you up to make sure you get home safe, but you should, do not go to the club, because that is full of adults, and if you try to, like, talk to one of them, like, they think you're also an adult. So no, don't do that. That's weird and unsafe and gross, and don't do that. But like, if my friend was like, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. If my like niece or nephew was like, hey, I'm going to a friend's house and there's like 5 or 6 of us and we're just having a little sleepover and one of them might bring some alcohol, could you pick me up afterwards? I'd be like, yeah, sure. Don't make this a regular thing because you don't develop alcoholism. Let's not do that. But like, it's just in a safe setting. They're being responsible about it. Kids are curious. They want to try new things, right? I was a freaking 14-year-old once. I wanted to do all kinds of crazy shit. I wanted to grow up so badly, and now that I'm grown up, I'm like, damn, I want to go back to when I was 16. That shit was so easy. Holy fuck. But like, some kids are really curious, some kids aren't. And there's not much you can do about it. You can just kind of be like, okay, as long as you're being safe. But like if it started to get into like a habit, then you're like, no, let's put a pause on this whole alcoholism train you're driving right now, because we need to reel it back a notch. Anyway, that's my what's it called? That's my serious rant of the podcast. I had like so many ideas to talk about on this podcast like before I started it. And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, all of those ideas have left my brain. But something I have done but haven't done in a hot sec is I write down shit on my notes app, which, by the way, a girl's notes app is like a lawless land. If you are not a girl listening to this podcast right now, a girl's notes app is a lawless land. Like, for example, I have a note that just says E445. This was from October 31st. No idea what that means. I have let's scroll a bit. I have a notes app that is indented twice, and then it just says ITF. And that was from November 14th of last year. I just found my thank you letter for a scholarship that I received when I was in college. Like, it's just random shit like that I'm like, okay, that's kind of hilarious. But what I was saying was that I would write down podcast bits that I would just like think of in my day-to-day life. Like, for example, one of them that I wrote down was, I was on a subway at 10:30 p.m. on a Monday night and felt scared until I noticed the dude beside me was wearing a Tinkerbell jean jacket. And then it's just true. Where do I go with this bit? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to just like run in a fucking loop if I try to make something out of that bit. But like, I don't, it's just shit like that I write down and I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably find something to do with this on the podcast. And I just have the list has gotten a little small because I haven't been updating it very frequently, but I just have a couple. Like, one of them is referring to a stingray as a happy pancake or a taser napkin. Like, thoughts, questions, remarks, oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. I'm turning this podcast episode into like a horror movie. Like, that's what this is becoming. Okay, I need to close the tab on my other monitor of just Ollie London because that's like scary to look at. Anyway, personally, I mean, like, I've been, okay, before you cancel me, I was like 8. But I've like pet a stingray before at like a I don't know if it was Marine Land. Y'all remember Marine Land? Holy fuck. Are they still a thing? But I've pet a stingray before and he was very chill. He was cool. Marine Land's still open? Oh. Closes soon at 10 p.m. What is Marine Land doing open at 10 p.m. in December on a Wednesday? What warrants Marine Land to be open that fucking late? What? That's insane. But I like pet a stingray before and he was chill. I mean, I'm assuming they're used to it or something. But so like, I'm like, happy pancake could work, but also like taser napkin is just one, more fun, and two, like, I feel like more accurate. Cause like a happy pancake can describe a lot of things. Like, I could lay down on my back on the ground and be flat on the ground and be happy, and that could be a happy pancake. Like, it could describe a lot of things. Whereas taser napkin could still technically describe a lot of things, but like it feels more like suitable for a stingray, because literally in a stingray's name is the word sting. And what do tasers do? They sting you. They like, you know? So in regards to Happy Pancake or Taser Napkin to call a stingray, I think my vote is, I almost just said stingray. My vote is stingray. My vote is Taser Napkin. But wait, okay, I'm like hopping over myself everywhere. I'm doing fucking loop-de-loops like a dog on a fucking agility course that has no one to guide it. Going back to I was on a subway at 10:30 p.m. on a Monday night, and I felt scared until I noticed the dude beside me was wearing a Tinkerbell jean jacket. First of all, that is like a year old now. I think that happened December last year. I was taking the subway home, and it was a Monday night, and I was terrified because at that time last year, there always will be sketchy people on the subway. That's just how it is, especially when you're living in a big city. But I just remember, like, there was, like, an increase in just sketchiness in general, and I was like, I'm kind of terrified as a woman by myself on a subway, and it's pitch black outside. And so I saw this big, like, not necessarily muscular, but he was just kind of a big guy. He was big, but, like, if he wanted to throw me, he could have, you know? Like, not built like a, like, freaking football player, muscle toned, blah, but just like a big dude. And I was like, I'm a little afraid of you just because of your size. And like, he seemed confident, which is not a bad thing, but I was like, you are confident and you are big. Therefore, if I do something you don't like, you can easily react on it, right? So I was like, oh God, I am terrified. And he was with a friend too, which I was like, oh God, 2v1. My odds in this, not great. And then he turned his back to his friend, and it was just a big picture of Tinkerbell on the back of his jean jacket. And immediately I was like, oh, so I'm fine. Like, I'm actually in no harm at all? That's crazy. The things that Tinkerbell will do to soothe a grown-ass woman is wild. Let's see what other ones I have. Okay. Looping back to underage drinking. If your child's champagne birthday was the first, do you give it alcohol? I love that I'm making myself laugh with these. Like, if I can't make anyone else laugh, at least I'll make myself laugh. To those that don't know what a champagne birthday is, a champagne birthday is basically when you turn the same age as the day of your birthday. So, like, for example, my champagne birthday is actually next year because I'm turning 22 on the 22nd, kind of deal. So if your child's champagne birthday is the first, are you giving it champagne? Because there is a bit that you can commit to here, and I feel like it would be kind of funny. But also, like, if you really wanted to commit to that bit and, you know, not be a somewhat shitty parent by giving your 1-year-old champagne, like an alcoholic beverage, you could, like, realistically give it non-alcoholic champagne and see what happens. Like, just a little bit, you know? I feel like if you gave a 1-year-old, like, non-alcoholic champagne, it would react the same way as, like, those TikToks when dogs drink sparkling water when they think that they've been given regular water, and they're like, you know, and they, like, back away, and they're like, yum, 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 because they don't know what they've just, like, drank or put in their mouth. I feel like a 1-year-old would react the same way. I mean, because all 1-year-olds really know how to do is, like, piss, shit, cry, and then, like, giggle sometimes because something moves a weird way. So, like, if you give it a weird sparkly juice that doesn't taste that great, probably, like, realistically, it'll probably just be like, what the fuck did you just put in my mouth? You know? So, I don't know. I think I'd commit to the bit. I have a bad habit of committing to bits and, like, nothing else. And I'll blame my ADHD on that one. ADHD is like, we don't get joy from this hobby you picked up 2 weeks ago. It's time to move on to something else. And I'm like, fuck, man, I just dropped $50 into this hobby. I don't have money, like, in general. Like, I could have used that $50 to fucking, like, get groceries. I don't know. And now we're moving on to a different hobby. Like, okay, fine, I guess. Woo! So the only thing I can always commit to is a bit. Is a good bit. But for legal reasons, I would not give my 1-year-old champagne if their champagne birthday was on the 1st. Moving on. PTSD hearing the words truck and convoy in the same sentence and then followed by Canadian flags in pickup trucks. It's become like a bit with me and more my family. But, like, every time I see a Canadian flag on a pickup truck, my mind is just immediately like, convoyer! Like, I point to it, I'm like, convoyer! You're a convoyer. Which, maybe there's people listening to this podcast who are offended by this, which, okay, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I don't really care. But, like, I don't know. And, okay, for example, like, the whole, like, truck and convoy in one sentence kind of thing. A lot of you will probably know who I'm talking about, but there is this wonderful YouTuber named Julian Solomita. Love him with my whole heart. Him, Jenna Marbles, practically raised me in middle school. And he streams, and he does a lot of, like, the truck simulator game. I don't know if it's just called Truck Simulator or, like, hauling simulator. I don't really know. But you basically drive trucks and you haul them around, I think it's the United States is, like, the main map anyway. And so I hear him all the time in that, like, game say, like, truck convoy time, and I'm like, oh no, I'm like, oh, what do you mean truck convoy time? Take that back. You know? And I'm like, oh, this is not a universal experience for people in different countries. Like, Canada only witnessed the shit show that was the first, like, truckers convoy, and, like, when was that? Like 1 year ago? No, not today. Freedom Convoy, that's what it's called. Sorry. When was the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa? Oh, so it was a year ago. January 22nd, 2022 to February 23rd, 2022. I do not miss that time period. That was so yeah, it's not a universal experience for someone to put the words truck and convoy in one sentence and not immediately want to throw up. and like sometimes I'd get his going live notifications would be like truck convoy time, and I'm like, please use something else. But you know what the crazy thing that was about the Freedom... Oh, there was a lot of crazy things about the Freedom Convoy, but we won't dive into that too much. But, like, other countries that started protesting, like, COVID-19 mandates started using Canada as, like, the example. And I was like, oh my god. Like, of all things we could be known for, we are now being used as an example against COVID-19 restrictions in other countries. Like, what? But still, I'm like, that, like, I remember there being COVID-19, like, mandate protests in Australia. And some of those motherfuckers were just flying the Canadian flag. And I was like, what? For real? Like, oh, okay. I don't know how I feel about this. As someone who, like, was pretty freaked out by, like, the pandemic and didn't want to catch COVID and took restrictions, like, seriously and was not, like, offended by them or anything, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. This is a lot, actually. Let's take a step back. You know? So yeah. So whenever I hear the words truck and convoy just together, or I see a pickup truck driving down the street with a Canadian flag, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know how... You're bringing back some bad memories. Anyway, what other ones do I have? I forgot about this one. Okay. So I'm not born and raised in Toronto. Like, I'm from a different city, whatever. And moving to Toronto has both its pros and its cons, you know? Like, pros, there's a lot of stuff to do. I kind of love how everyone's kind of in their own world in a way. Like, people aren't really, like, too, like, focused on what's going on around them, which sometimes can be really annoying. But, like, in the way of, like, yeah, like, I'm crossing paths with someone who is on their own mission to do something in their own little world on their own time frame, and I'm doing, you know, like, just something about everyone being so unique and singular, I think is cool. And it also has its cons, like it being so fucking expensive to live here, but, you know. And, like, you run into some strange people, but as you do in a big city, that just kind of happens. But something I've noticed in Toronto that you don't really see elsewhere is, like, a lot of places and, like, stores in Toronto are, like, small businesses. Now, there is a point to this. Please don't be like, you think Toronto's the only city with small businesses? No, I'm aware there's small businesses, like, everywhere. But there is a point to branch off from this. I'm getting there, I swear. Obviously, there's, like, chains. Like, there's McDonald's and, like, Home Depot and Loblaws and shit like that. Like, there's chains in Toronto. But a lot of it is small businesses, too. A lot of it is, like, singular stores. Maybe, like, a small chain where there's, like, 2 or 3... Oh, my fucking God. There's, like, 2 or 3 stores, like, around Toronto or the GTA, whatever. But some of these small businesses have some very interesting, like, advertising techniques. You know? So yeah, so a lot of these, like, unique, well, not unique, but, like, a lot of these small businesses have a lot of, interesting advertisement, choices, I think is the best way to say it. And I remember I was coming home from somewhere, I forget where I was coming home from, and, I passed by this, like, this building that I honestly didn't think anyone was renting out. And the picture on the windows, it was like one of those, like, pictures where it's like you can see through it from the inside but not the outside because you just see the advertisement on the outside. It was a white crusty-eyed dog. Like to the T picture of a white crusty-eyed dog. Like, if you looked up Thank you. If you looked up white crusty-eyed dog in, like, Google Images, like that picture would pop up kind of thing. And he was just like staring me down. And I was like, what the fuck is this building? Like, what is this building? And there was some text to the side that I was like having trouble reading. And so as I got closer, it was a fucking advertisement for a plumbing company. Like, it was a plumbing company that was talking about the services that they offer for like plumbing and shit. And they just had a white crusty-eyed dog as the picture. Like, not the person that owns the company, not like someone, you know, like fixing a pipe or shit. A white crusty-eyed dog. And I was so flabbergasted by this, because I was like, I mean, like, yeah, I guess it worked in a way, because I am now staring at your advertisement being like, what am I looking at? But also, like, I'm not gonna want to hire their services, because I'd just be like, I don't know what's happening. Because, like, I'm not going to look at an advertisement and be like, criteria, talks about plumbing, optional, white crusty-eyed dog as a picture in the advertisement, necessary. And then check both those off and be like, that's who I want to hire for plumbing. That's what I'm looking for. What if the crusty-eyed dog is the plumber? Okay, real thought. Everybody pause. Time out. What if that's the plumber? What do you do in that situation? You call this company and you're like, hey, like, the pipe underneath my sink burst. I need someone to come fix it. And a person answers and they're like, yep, I can come by, like, or we could send someone by your place at, like, 5 p.m. today. Is that all right? And you're like, yeah, got it. See you then. Hang up. A couple hours go by. Open the door when the doorbell rings. It's a white crusty-eyed dog. Like, what do you do? Do you, like, open the door and look around and be like, this is a weird, like, ding-dong ditch prank? Do you let the crusty-eyed dog in? And if you let the crusty-eyed dog in, what happens if it just starts walking around with, like, a little tool belt? And it actually, like, goes to the bathroom and you're like, hold on. How are you gonna fix my pipe? What the fuck am I talking about? Holy fuck. But, like, let's think about this for a second, okay? What do you do? Personally, I think, realistically speaking, if I am being so dead ass right now, if I open the door at 5 p.m. after having a scheduled appointment for a plumber to come over to my place, and there was a white crusty-eyed dog outside my door, and he had, like, a little hard hat and a, like, tool belt, I genuinely think I would, one, pet the dog, because that's kind of cool as shit, first of all, but then also, like, step outside and be like, where's the camp, like, whose dog is this? Whose dog was left on my front step? Like, and then what happens if no one else comes? Like, the appointment only starts once you let the dog in, because he's the one that's coming to fix your pipe, obviously. So imagine you get a call being like, hey, our plumber, like, we sent our plumber home because, like, or, like, not home, but, like, we sent our plumber back, like, he left, because he said you refused service. And then it's like, who the fuck was the plumber? And they're like, the dog. And you're like, what? You couldn't think to tell me this earlier? That you were going to send a dog to fix the pipe underneath my sink? First of all, where are his credentials? Second of all, does he talk? Like, he didn't say anything. So how does he know what's wrong? Third of all, like, how the fuck does he handle tools? Dude's got no opposable thumbs. How does he pick up a wrench and is like, I need to twist this thing on your pipe for it to work? Like, I want to see a white crusty-eyed dog as a plumber now. That's the dream. A white crusty-eyed plumber dog. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is there any other interesting ones that I could talk about? I mean, I could talk about this one, but I think I've spoken about it before. This will be the last one, the last podcast bit I get off of my lawless land of notes apps. But one of them just says, flat sheets are useless. I know I've spoken about this before. And funny enough, I went to a dinner party the other night, which, oh my god, I think if someone told me that I had, like, dinner parties to look forward to as a young adult, I would be like, fuck yeah. It was so much fun. Did I know any of the people? No, I only knew one of them. I don't know if they listen to this podcast, but if they do, hi, you know who you are, I love you, mwah. And it was just, oh my god. Yeah, vine boom for them, yeah. And it was just a bunch of queer people at a place, and it was 70s themed, so we all dressed up in 70s clothing, and we had 70s food, so there was Jell-O and a cheese ball with crackers and quiche, and it was so good. And then one of the requirements, other than dressing up for the 70s, was to make a slideshow on literally anything. Someone did a smash or pass, but only they are right, and just showed fictional characters that they would smash, essentially. Which I'm like, fuck yeah, that's hilarious. Someone talked about architecture that they hate, which I'm like, yeah, love it. Someone talked about, like, the language of emojis and, like, how millennials use emojis versus Gen Z. And that was fucking funny, considering there was both Gen Z and millennials at that dinner party. Someone talked about the 52 hertz whale, which I didn't even know was a thing, so that was kind of cool to learn about. And you know what? I'm going to give you a quick speed run lesson on the 52 hertz whale from what I learned. But basically, it's a whale that was discovered, like, I think it was a while ago. It's been discovered for a little bit. But, like, the noise that it makes is at, like, the 52 hertz, like, frequency. That I probably am not saying that right, but, like, you get the gist. And that's how it's identified as. But it's also known as the loneliest whale in the world because it's the only whale that they know of that species that's alive. So it could be the only whale in the world that speaks at that frequency. And that's so sad. Like, he's by himself. Like, what? Somebody, like, I hope there's another one out there somewhere. That'd be so crazy, like, trying to, like, have two whales meet so that they could be, like, besties and, you know, repopulate and have more whales. Well, I mean, if they're both the same gender, then they can't really repopulate. But, like, who knows? Maybe they'll be friends. You never know. But, like, stuff like that. And, my presentation was on why I think flat sheets are useless. And I will die on this hill. Flat sheets are stupid. They're so stupid. They're annoying. They're dumb. They're stupid. That's all you need to know. They're stupid. But, like, okay, realistically, like, fitted sheets exist for a reason. I looked at this website that was talking about, like, why flat sheets are cool, which, by the way, wrong. Wrong. Flat sheets aren't cool. And basically, the usages that they listed for flat sheets were, it gives you layers of comfort between you and your duvet. It's a replacement of blankets. It's decorative bedding over your mattress. E.g., instead of a fitted sheet, use a flat sheet over your mattress. and just use as a top layer. And that was the list of usages it listed for flat sheets. And basically, like, my entire presentation was just taking each one of the usages it listed and being like, that's fucking stupid, next. Like, oh my god. Why? Riddle me this. Why would you use a flat sheet instead of a fitted sheet? Like, flat sheets were not flat sheets. Fitted sheets were flat sheets with elastic bands in them. Literally on the website that I used that talked about flat sheets, they fucking mentioned that fitted sheets were invented in like the 50s and had great success for its easy usage over flat sheets. Because you just take the elastic band and you go whoop right over the corner of your mattress, and wow, it magically stays in place. Who invented fitted sheets? I want to look this up. Who invented fitted sheets? It was a woman. Yeah. Who invented the flat sheet? I don't know. Oh, who is this? Is this a man or a woman? No offense, I think it's a man. A man definitely invented flat sheets. Oh my god, it's created in 1000 AC. Holy fuck. Flat sheets have been around for a while, apparently. But Bertha Berman created the fitted sheet. Bertha, I could give you the biggest fucking kiss on the lips. Mwah! Thank you for creating fitted sheets. Yeah. But like, why would you use a flat sheet and just fold the corners around your mattress to then, like, when you go to bed, just have it roll off? Like, Vine Boom gets me. But yeah. Like, I could not get over the fact that it was saying to use a flat sheet instead of a fitted sheet. And I'm like, maybe not, actually. But I will forever die on the hill of flat sheets are useless, because you can just use a fitted sheet, first of all. Second of all, don't use it as a blanket. Get an actual blanket. But yeah. Fuck flat sheets. If you were a flat sheet supporter, there's the door. Get out. The other thing I really wanted to talk about, because I wasn't planning on making this as long of an episode as it is, like, usually when Sab's here. Oh, I miss Sab. I miss Sab. I went to a concert the other day. Now, this artist Sab doesn't like. Sab doesn't really listen to them. Sab and I's music taste is, like, very different. I listen to a lot of, like, pop and rap and, like, shit like that. And Sab listens to, like, a lot of rock. So, Sab sometimes bullies me over my music taste, but whatever. But I saw Doja Cat live, and oh my god. It's the only thing I've been talking about this entire fucking week, and people are probably sick of it, but frankly, I don't care. Exactly. I don't care. Because, like, I don't know. I got the tickets, I think it was back in May, and it's now December. Like, it was a couple months prior. I literally showed up to work an hour late just to make sure I got the pre-sale tickets. And, like, in between that time, like, Doja Cat was kind of, like, a lot of people weren't the biggest fans of her, because I think she just openly was like, fuck my fans, they're fucking annoying, and then people were like, what? And so, like, I still listen to her music, but, like, there were some moments where I was like, ooh, should I still be going to this show? Well, I went anyway because I was like, you know what? Who the fuck cares? And what's it called? It was fucking crazy. Like it was so good. And like obviously I'm biased because I've loved like Doja Cat since like 2020 when I first found her. Actually no, it was more 2019 actually. The first song of hers that I heard was Tia Tamara. Tia Tamara, yeah, Tia Tamara. And when did that come out? Actually, why am I looking it up on my phone? I could just look it up on the computer. When was Tamara released? Not from jail. So the song came out in 2018, but I don't think I heard it until 2019. But like, banger song. When they played, or not they, freaking Rico Nasty was not at the concert, but when Doja Cat played Tia Tamara live at the concert, I was like, this is like my full circle moment. This was the song that got me like hooked on Doja Cat's music, and now I'm watching it live. Like, this is fucking crazy. But like the visuals, like everything about her concert was so fucking cool. Her outfit was cool. The songs obviously were good because I like her music. The visuals were crazy. For Demons, she had this like huge fucking spider come crawling out with her on stage. And when she first walked out at the beginning of the songs, she put up her hands like in a way of like, look at my fucking like my like amazing prized possession, this giant ass spider that's just walking above me. And I'm like, this is fucking like, yeah, like, yes, I approve of this message. But like, her backup dancers were so cool. She had one backup dancer who throughout the show would come back as her from what music video was it? Was it Paint the Town Red? There's one music video, I forget which one it was, where she's like covered in blood. And so throughout the concert, she had a dancer who was dressed to look like her covered in blood, who would just like either like slink out on songs and look like creepy and would like get into almost like standoffs with Doja. But like she was just such a cool dancer. It was dope. And like there was one point on, I forget, I wish I could remember which song. I forget which song it was. It was a song from her newest album. Um where was it Attention? It might have been Attention. Anyway, where like Doja stood at one side of the stage and that dancer that was dressed to look like her stood on the other, and then like a section of the stage just started spinning in a circle, and it looked like it was like straight out of an action movie. And I was like, what? Like, what? That is fucking crazy. Like, this is crazy. And the visuals reminded me of like a movie. Like I don't know why Doja Cat would do a tour movie. I mean, it's kind of like becoming a trend right now with like Taylor Swift's Eras movie and like Beyonce's like Renaissance movie and shit like that. Which I think is cool. It's cool to see like the behind the scenes and like to see the concert itself if you could have gone and stuff like that. So I'm like this feels like it's gonna get turned into like a concert movie. Which if it is, I'm gonna go watch it. Was I there for the show? Yeah, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. Cause it looked so cool. Only complaint that I had of that whole concert was that in between Ice Thank you, Vine Boom. In between Ice Spice's opening act and Doja Cat's actual performance, there was an hour wait. And like I've never actually I might have had an hour wait for like Guns N' Roses when I saw Guns N' Roses live, but like other than that, usually the main performer, comes out to does the show. And it got to the point where people were like on their phone just like scrolling on TikToks, and everyone was like, where the fuck is Doja Cat? Like, where is she? But her outfit was fucking insane. Loved it. The next day she like posted pictures of her in the outfit and also like underneath the stage from the Toronto concert, and I was like, is that why it took an hour between Ice Spice and the actual concert to start? Because if so, that's actually hilarious. But yes, I think her concert is ending because I think Toronto was like the second last leg of the North America tour. And I know she announced like dates for Europe. So if you're like listening to this and you're like, should I go see Doja Cat live? The answer is yes. Like, do it. Because it was so fucking cool. Anyway, we love Doja Cat. Or her music at least, and her performance. It was pretty cool. She didn't really talk much during the show, but there was one point where she was like, she sat down in her chair and she was just kind of looking at the crowd and she was like, yeah! And she was like yelling into the microphone and everyone was just sort of yelling back. And I was like, this is like adorable. Like, this is actually great. I love the vibes. And also, everyone was serving cunt at the concert. Me and my friend included. We were serving major cunt at Doja Cat's concert, which, to be fair, if you're gonna go to Doja Cat's concert and not serve cunt, then like something's wrong. But everyone looked so cool and just like serving cunt. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, I saw so many people in like sick ass tops and like super high heels and like fishnets and shit, and I was like, yeah, I love the vibes of this place. I could stay here forever and be content because everyone's sick as fuck. But yeah, Doja Cat concert, 10 out of 10. Loved it. Would do it again. I've been like watching back some of the videos I take, which the only downside to watching back videos I've taken is I have to hear my fucking like gross ass voice screaming the songs back. And I'm like, oh, girl, shut up. Like, oh, take it back a second. Let's reel it in and like not ruin the performance that I'm trying to record. But like, I watched back specifically the video of her with the freaking spider, and it's so cool. Oh my god, she's so cool. I'm watching it right now. I love it so much. I'm so glad I went. And I'm so like 2023 and 2024 have been like the year or years of like concerts or to be concerts for me. Cause like so many artists that I've been wanting to see for a while have just been like, yeah, we're going on tour. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is like $150, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The only person that I didn't the only person that I didn't see on tour was Lovejoy in 2023, and I'm still so pissed. Fuck scalpers. If you're a scalper, fuck you. You ruined my chance of seeing Lovejoy because you brought like $50 tickets up to like $400, and I'm like, fuck you. You's a bitch. That was the one that I couldn't see that I was super upset by. And Ashniko. I could have seen Ashniko. The verified resale was like super expensive, but it wasn't like Lovejoy expensive. It was like somewhat reasonable, but I was like, no, I'll save my money. And of course, after the concert happened, I got into like her music a lot more, and I was like, fuck, man, I want to see Ashniko. But like, I saw Doja Cat. I'm gonna be seeing Taylor Swift next year. I'm going to be seeing Melanie Martinez. I'm going to be seeing Pink. Oh, I'm so excited for Pink. I literally was raised on Pink and the Pussycat Dolls. That was the music I was raised on. And like Nickelback, but like we don't talk about that. I was raised on Pink. And now I get to see her live, and she also does the whole like it's not trapeze, but that's the word that comes to my mind. But she gets in a harness. She basically just like flies around the arena, and I'm like, that's fucking sick. I get to witness that live. I love Pink. I fucking love Pink. And I'm seeing her next year. I'm so excited. But yeah, I might not have a lot of money. I might be like so extremely broke, but at least I'm going to concerts and I'm having a fun time. And with that, I'm gonna end the podcast episode here. Thank you all so much for listening to me ramble for like 50 minutes. Next episode might be just sad. Might be the both of us. Who knows? But you'll probably I was about to say you'll probably figure it out when it comes out. Well, yeah, no fucking shit, but like, you know, you get the gist. Okay, the next episode comes out after Christmas. Okay. So I'm sure we can figure something out. But thank you all so much for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.